All right, welcome in everybody. It is January 15th, and we've had one hell of a run today. So, a couple things to talk about today. Just some news again from our LinkedIn page and some beautiful graphs. And I mean, the setups are amazing here. We're going to go over a couple, especially XRP, some of these ISO tokens, and of course, Bitcoin and some others. But yeah, the setups are remarkable here. And just the pattern it's following, you can clearly see it. But I just wanted to show you a couple of quick things. Some are funny. This little video here, giving XRP's run here, uh, just to lighten up the mood here. We'll play this little video. Anyway, I love that. Anyway, XRP. So with that, since we're starting off with that, let's go ahead and look at the chart because this is having a very, very nice run here. Again, from our system that we're using, again, you can see the various levels down here on this chart. The retracement back from 288, the yellow line there is your 50-day moving average. You can see where that trend turned negative, bounced right off of it, and now we're back in this green uptrend, pushing on up toward that 9 level. 352 would be our next target here, and then up to 4. So we'll see if we can get there in the coming days or weeks. But from a we're really not in any kind of exhausted zone here. I mean, we just came out of the normalized trading zone. We're only in the yellow band here. Haven't even got to orange or red yet. So this thing could really press on higher with especially with Trump coming in office and the administration that wants to make crypto or make America the crypto capital. So then you can see here it didn't even break down below that exhaustion zone, and then it looks like we're about to trend back above it. Usually when you come down when you're really exhausted and you come back and you penetrate it again to the upside, that's typically a really bullish sign. So we'll see if it can maintain here. And in my opinion, this would be likely going higher. So again, not financial advice. This is just our own opinion and our own system and how we interpret these things. But just wanted to show that to you. And before we even go back to LinkedIn, I just want to look at a couple others because a lot of these are following this pretty much a similar pattern. You can again, this is H bar. Another one of those tokenization plays that we like. Again, you can kind of see it kind of consolidated a little bit, trended sideways, bounced right off that 50-day, and then again it's pushing up toward that 8 level. So we'll see if we can break that. That's around the 35 cent mark. So if we can break that, we might be looking up toward about 46 on H bar, and then upwards from there. And again, that one's even a little better. It's still in the normalized trading zone here. So and it looks like it's trying to penetrate that exhaustion zone again and go back above. So hopefully we can do that and it doesn't turn down. But we'll see. That 50 days should serve as a support for sure. But we'll see where that one goes as well. Another one of our favorites, Ondo. Again, another tokenization play with its partnerships with BlackRock and the treasuries being tokenized, etc. This one is getting very interesting. This is one we've talked about in the past, and this blue line you see here is the unlock that's coming in January. It's a pretty big unlock, but again, we've had a pretty nice retracement from 213-ish back down to 124. So I mean, that's a pretty nice retracement, and a lot of people think the token unlock would be I guess a negative event, but in my opinion, what I would love to see here is this thing pop down one time, bounce off that 200-day moving average right here around $1, and that's where I'm gonna be putting in my buy orders, maybe 105. But then I think once that token unlocks, I think the demand and the tokenization that's coming will more than gobble up that release. So we'll see if it moves upward from that token unlock, when most people will likely think they need to be selling. So that's going to be interesting to watch. That's another one here. Let's go Solana. Again, this is looking really juicy. Solana, normalized trading zone here. It bounced off the 200-day moving average. Now it's gone up. It's trending right underneath that 50-day. Now this one is interesting. because if you look at the top indicator up here, it is in that opportunity zone. But a lot of times you'll see this curve, and then it'll curve right back down. So until we can break that 50-day, I probably would be very careful here. At least we will be. We already hold some Solana, so well below 200 mark. So not really too worried here. If it comes back down, certainly we can dollar cost average back, more to our position, but we wouldn't add to it until we break that 50-day. We'd want to see that penetrate. So again, Solana's looking pretty good. Our upward target for Solana is probably that 400 to 450 range for this year. So we'll see if we get there. What else we got? Let's take a look at Link. Again, same thing. It's in the opportunity zone. Just printed the dot. Normalized trading, so we're not really exhausted in any way. Kind of came down in between. We had that negative trend here a little bit, but hadn't really reversed trend just yet. Maybe another day or two, it looks like. But we'll see if that 50-day holds and it bounces, penetrates it or comes back down. So if it comes back down, I think we'd be looking at that 1633 mark. But so we'll watch Chainlink, and again, some of these scenarios play out. It'll be great times to maybe take some off of the ones that have been running high and maybe allocate to some of the ones that came back a little bit that look like they may be about to run. So plenty of decisions to make. And then we like the graph as well, so let's see what it did. Yeah, same thing. 35 cents. Peaked out. I mean, we nailed that one. Look at that. I mean, it's beautiful. And you can see every indicator. 1, 2, 3. So that's fantastic. Obviously, it retraced as well. Penetrated through that 50-day, bounced right off of that 200-day again. It looks like we're heading back up. It hasn't quite reversed that trend yet, but again, we're printing multiple dots in the opportunity zone. So for us, this is just great dollar cost average territory because the graph is one we're going to be holding for the years to come. But yeah, fantastic opportunity here for us. So we will likely be adding to that probably in the short term. So that's enough for that for now. Actually, we'll take a look at Cardano because it's had a nice bounce back. And again, similar pattern as all the rest. It got exhausted, retraced, came back through the 50-day, but bounced right off this support level at 6. I mean, that's beautiful. Look at that, right off of it at 84 cents. And it looks like we're actually turning the trend and breaking through the 50-day. So this, again, another one. Normalized trading zone, so not exhausted, not overbought in any way, or doesn't appear to be. So this is one, even at $1.05, yeah, I think I'm going to be adding to this one. So in the coming days, weeks, month, you may see us post some trades. So it looks like there's certainly plenty of opportunity here, even after the runs with these pullbacks and the new administration coming in. So stay tuned. With that, we're going to shift over to the LinkedIn page. Again, Trim Capital Partners, TCP. We posted a couple things again. It's been a few days here, so we'll just run through this real quick, and we'll go ahead and close down this video. So let's take a look here. We did a little poll. Of course, this is a new page, so of course we don't really have many votes, but if you do like crypto news, like the charts, like to see what our indicators have to say, feel free to follow us on LinkedIn. We only share what we feel is relevant news that we see out there. And a lot of people, I don't see a lot of people talking about this, and it's kind of crazy. But yeah, we posted a poll out there about will Solana and XRP ETFs be approved? Certainly, in our opinion, with a transitioning SEC chair position with Gary Gensler coming out, we think there's a pretty good probability that these will be approved this year, which will only further drive demand and put some additional upward price pressure on XRP and Solana, in our opinion. But again, just opinion, not financial advice. And again, in I guess recent days, weeks, whatever you want to call it, we've been talking about Bitcoin game theory. These corporations beginning to add Bitcoin to their treasuries, especially with the new FASB accounting rules and just the more friendly regulatory environment that's coming for Bitcoin. I think it's going to be remarkable what we're about to see. But you can see it's not like it's just starting, right? I mean, corporate adoption has been picking up steam, and this is going back to Q4 of 23. So, and it's only going to pick up even more. Let's see what else we got here. Cointelegraph, JP Morgan predicts Solana and XRP ETFs could attract 3 to 8 billion in new investments. I mean, it's coming from JP Morgan. I would be inclined, well, you would say you'd be inclined to believe them, but usually until now it's been negative news. But certainly 3 to 8 billion, that's probably even on the low end. But so we'll see where that goes. Cointelegraph again. Meta's board has been advised to invest part of its 72 billion in liquid assets into Bitcoin as a hedge against the dollar devaluation. So certainly, I think institutions with as much cash as there are on the sidelines will begin to look at, getting out of assets that are becoming devalued into accretive assets, which would be your Bitcoin and your crypto assets, in my opinion. So Bitcoin game theory will only continue as more and more institutions adopt it to their treasuries. Other institutions likely they don't want to be left behind. So it's going to be fun to watch. Let's see. This was, I guess, where was this from? It doesn't really say, but from Cointelegraph again, Bitcoin and crypto will skyrocket like never before, even beyond your expectations. This was from Trump. And we can actually play this one. Let's take a look here. Now, I will say, we'll finish this. There's only 30 seconds left here. To this point, I wouldn't say Trump's really had any impact on Bitcoin and crypto. I think the industry was relatively new and growing at an exponential rate. Most people didn't even understand it, including probably himself, because he wasn't even for it in the beginning. So, but just keep that in mind. All these politicians until now probably haven't even studied this thing and don't even understand it, probably even still yet. But obviously they've warmed up to it. So I think the administration coming in is certainly a more crypto-friendly administration. So it can only help, in the years and decade to come. So let's just finish this out and then we'll move on. Well, let's be honest. You can't compare. The gains will become smaller and smaller as the price appreciates more and more. You're not going to go from a dollar. You can't compare going from a dollar to 10,000 or even 100,000 and then comparing going from 100,000. I mean, you would have to go to like tens and twenties of millions. So I mean, that's not even a fair comparison. But the higher it gets, the more stable it's going to become. The less returns you're going to get, but it's going to be a large number. So that's irrelevant. All right, so that's it there. Let's keep moving. Yeah, so here's one for Sui, and we'll look at Sui because Sui's had one hell of a run too. Now, personally, I think it's fairly priced, if not even overpriced. But we'll look at that chart and look at the indicators. But I would like to see Sui take a breather because it's gone from I think well under $1 to over $4, so it's had a nice one. But I do think Sui and Solana are going to gobble up a lot of the market share from those like Ethereum, I believe, in the years to come. Sui has great user experience, interface, etc. And Solana's gobbling up all the new developers, and they're releasing Fire Dancer, which can make that thing upwards of 1 million transactions a second. So those two are some big players, but we'll take a look. So actually, let's go ahead and do that now while we're talking about it. Yeah, so you can see, yeah, back in September, early September, this thing was around 85 cents, and it made it up to what 532. So it hadn't even really retraced a whole lot. It's kind of hugging that 50-day moving average, but it has come down and it is in that normalized range. So yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if it goes higher from here. I mean, it's not really exhausted at any level. It could just tease us a little bit, come down a little bit. It'd be nice, but yeah, Sui's a big one. Um, let's keep looking here. Is this? Yeah, there we go. Let's see here. Yeah, it's not really that big of a deal here. And then here's one regarding tokenization that we posted. You can see we said critical info. All you got to do is read, right? So we'll take a look at this. This is talking about Zonix. So it said that as the year comes to a close, they're thrilled to share highlights from an incredible journey regarding RWA tokenization, from surpassing billions in tokenized assets across real estate, private equity, funds, carbon credits, and more, to driving industry innovation through Dicest and Talum. Certainly, it was extraordinary. So yes, tokenization is going to be a key theme of 2025 and probably even 26 and beyond. And that's where the plays like Ondo, XRP, and others are going to come into play. And then the last video we'll show again is just this one from Cointelegraph on Michael Saylor, again talking about Bitcoin. So we'll see what he has to say because he's a very intelligent man. 282 trillion. We're at 2 trillion. It's right here, folks. You just got to pay attention. Uh, 13 million a coin in 2045. That's why we always like to say, when you look at Bitcoin's price at 100K, most people are going to be scared of that because, like, ooh, I can only buy a fraction of a Bitcoin. Well, zero point 0.1 Bitcoin, if his predictions come true, that's $1.3 million. So just keep that in mind. Okay, yeah, we don't need to go into that. So that'll wrap it up. We're gonna look at Bitcoin just to close this out. And again, you can see it's kind of similar to others. Normalized trading zone. We're staying in that right above that opportunity zone. It looks like it's kind of moving back up. It's broken through that 50-day moving average, moving on up toward level 7, which would be about the 108 range. And our level 10 is about 182-ish. So we'll see where we go, folks. Again, none of this is financial advice. We always recommend you do your own due diligence. But if you have any crypto projects you want us to run through this system of indicators, let us know in the comments. We'll be more than happy to do so for free. We don't charge. With that, we will see you in the next one. Thank you.